We are in a moment where MNOs are facing different challenges. 5G here, but not yet increase of ARPU, generally speaking. So still waiting for that revenue. Investment still needed over the next years. Rural approach to get connectivity everywhere also, if we think about Europe, for the European Commission 5G Act and all the implementations that they are pursuing. We have the densification. We have, in some countries, a vendor swap. So there are a number of elements that probably 5G auctions, for instance, Poland 5G options is going to happen now, it's happening now. So there are a number of elements that probably creates the right moment to face this opportunity.
What we call the neutral host model, right, which is actually developing and has been accelerating the past few years. And there's really three things to know about it. One is that it's an ecosystem play, right? This is not just about one entity deciding to do something, but it's a whole ecosystem of stakeholders that have contributed or are still contributing into forming this model. The second one is that this is a multi-domain segment, right? This is not just about indoor connectivity or just about connectivity as a service, on the optical side or on the mobile side, but this is about multiple domains. As Oscar mentioned, we have the fiber domain, the tower domain, the data center domain that themselves are fueling a slew of really a whole suite of use cases that are being developed by these companies. And the third thing to remember is that this is a global phenomenon or a global shift, right? It's happening in all the regions. We here have representation from India, from the US, and from Europe, but it's also happening in Australia, it's happening across Asia, it's happening in Africa, in the Middle East, and Latin America. It's really happening everywhere.
Meta, we have our campus in United States, and indoor coverage has been a challenge there. And we have seen that traditionally they were deploying what do you call as the distributed antenna systems, the DAS systems, and those were not being effective enough for our coverage. And so that's where this new concept of using Meta as a neutral operator, a neutral host operator, and then tapping into the mobile operators network eventually, we established what we call the CBRS-based internal network for indoor coverage. And that is solving our problem of indoor connectivity. We are able to get a very secure, consistent coverage throughout our campuses, indoor buildings for all of our employees, as well as the visitors. And so what that does is it's based on the concept of enabling CBRS spectrum itself, working in terms of providing the benefits of indoor in-building coverage, and also kind of bringing in a new concept which is based off of standards, saves cost exponentially compared to what it would have been for DAS systems, and easy to install as well. So for a DAS system, you would take around 12 to 18 months to complete the installation. Compared to that, for this particular solution, we have been seeing about 3 months of turnaround time per site to get it going. And so, of course, all three drivers are pretty key here, saving cost overall on the deployment of it, getting it based on the standards, so there is nothing proprietary here, so no changes required for the MNOs nor for the devices. We are leveraging the concept of LTE network based out of MOCN, for those who are aware of that concept as well. And so, yes, those three drivers, and then the last one being time to get it going and deploying.
We think we have a unique position, especially in Poland, because in Poland we manage the passive portfolio from Play and the passive and active portfolio from Plus of Polkomtel Group. So if there is a space with a national-wide network approach that this can really work, probably would be there, and this is where we are focused. Of course, From those learnings, many questions raised. Is this to be extended across Europe? Is going to be a full NetCo pan-European model in Europe? What else are the others doing? So if we look, for instance, in Spain, there is a very solid and strong agreement between Vodafone and Orange to make RAN sharing. Half of the Spain is red, half of the Spain is orange. If we go to Italy, we have recently seen Wind carving out all the network, including core, including fixed line and mobile, and coming into the playground private equity with a very intensive operational model. And any of the countries we have RAN sharing.
I think if we can all work together from a tip community perspective, from a vendor community perspective, and regulatory as well, and sort of bring all that together, then we'll actually be able to tip the curve and take the TCO substantially lower. So we're today in the range of about 0 to 25% TCO cost savings. Once you really start bringing that down, particularly driven on the OpEx side, then that is where the real benefit kicks in. And from a quality of service, we've now demonstrated that really you get superior quality of service. But in cost-sensitive markets, the willingness to pay extra for that, because revenues don't result from better quality of service, unfortunately. So there is definitely a pushback. So really it's about creating scale through getting to the right price points and then demonstrating across a variety of venues.
The project group will be crucial in terms of kind of bringing our deployment learnings from what we have done, the framework and the architecture, and then giving those learnings and kind of replicating those in other regions. Within the project group, we could be gathering or collaborating with multiple operators in different regions. And so I think that part is what we are looking forward to as the next step.